All right, we'll go ahead and get started since it's 5 o'clock. Thank you everyone for joining. We're so excited to have you here tonight at the McMillon Innovation Studio Demo Day. Although it looks very different this semester, we're usually in the studio and you guys are getting to see the student prototypes. We're still excited to be able to showcase tonight the great work these students have done this semester. So my name is Jessica Salmon, and I have had the privilege of working with the McMillon Innovation Studio the last several years. And I just want to first off say that this group of students, we had about 50 students enrolled in the class this semester, and they have done a phenomenal job at pivoting, iterating, being agile, and truly embracing the spirit of what the studio is all about. I recently read a quote from an accelerator that said, what COVID-19 has done is deliver the future to us today. So it truly is a period of time where we're getting to see a glimpse of maybe what a little bit of the future looks like, and it has accelerated and been a catalyst for what we might be seeing in terms of ways of working and collaboration and innovation in the future. And so I'm just extremely proud of the students and the work that they've put in to this semester. This was the first semester we made the studio a class. It was a 1-hour class, but way more work than 1 hour. And each of them have put in a ton of time and have truly figured out how to fall in love with the problem and understand the user from a design thinking perspective. So I just want to give a big shout out to the students, and we're so excited that we've made it to the end of the semester and that they will be able to share with you their prototypes this evening. Before we start off, I just want to kick it over to Dean Waller, who's going to give us a brief introduction. And I would say he is the greatest example in higher education at helping to lead the Sam and Walton College of Business for the future of innovation. He truly pushes the envelope in terms of innovation and really spearheading that spirit in the college. And so, Dean Waller, please take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica. I'm just thrilled to see how far along, Jessica, you and Rachel have really taken this. I remember the first time I talked about this concept in a very general, high-level way with Doug McMillon back in 2015. And seriously, this is remarkable at this point. And I want to thank, the sponsors. Of course, Doug and Shelley, this wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. But Steve and Kelly Barnes, some of you don't know them, but hopefully you'll get to meet them. And Claude and Don Harris and Mike Dooley, Sonny Gussain, the Retail Advisory Board in general, and Dr. Rogelio Garcia Contreras. And there's 10 design teams. Thank you for the students and everyone who's been involved in that. I'm thrilled that there's 27 different majors involved in this. Part of the vision for this originally is that it would be very interdisciplinary. And so I'm really thrilled that there's students from so many different colleges and departments. And really just having 56 team members here today is remarkable. And I also want to thank the 21 industry mentors. I think the University of Arkansas is very fortunate to have such close collaboration with so many partners in industry. I really, really appreciate what you're doing. And I looked through the list of the names of the mentors, and there's a number that, of course, I recognize, and many alumni and many people that have just been involved with us for some time. Last thing I'll say, I'm so glad that we've got students that are willing to take, the extra effort and risk to do something like this. But really, I think, Jessica, the time and the need for the McMillon Innovation Studio to really shape the future of commerce by developing students that can be catalysts for innovation is it's more needed now than ever because in some ways what we're experiencing in the world right now is a time that is probably at the level of the scientific revolution or the industrial revolution. It's a time of great change, and we need leaders who can really prototype future solutions to our current problems. And so, again, thanks to all of you for participating. I'm really grateful, Jessica and Rachel, for your leadership and hard work to make this so successful. And I love seeing all the students here and looking forward to your presentations.
Great, thank you, Dean Waller. Really quickly, I also want to introduce Rachel and Natalie to everyone. Rachel is the assistant director in the studio and spearheads kind of leading the student engagement and a lot of the curriculum that we've developed over this past semester. And then Natalie is our graduate assistant, and she helps lead as well the student engagement and really helps with the mentoring process as part of the team engagement. So that's kind of the leadership of the studio. And then we are fully supported by the Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation and Sarah Goforth's leadership, and all of the support from the Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation has been really a huge part of the studio. And I know each of the students, several of the students have used the broader office and the workshops and all of the different things that they have to offer as part of the class. So it's just an extremely great partnership. And so to kick things off, we are going to do something a little different this year and have each of the mentors just share 1 or 2 minutes of encouragement to the students and reflection on the process this past semester. We would not be who we are without our mentors. And as Matt said, they are a pivotal part of the studio experience. In reading all of the kind of midterm reflection papers from the students, mentorship was one of the #1 things that came up, that they were so surprised at how much time these mentors dedicated to the team. And so we're very grateful for our mentors and everything that they have provided to us for this past semester. We have mentors from across the food industry, the health industry, and the retail industry. So we are very grateful. So without further ado, I'll just kick it off. I'll call out each team, and if that mentor or a representation from that mentor group could just speak up. Again, 1 minute, 2 minutes. We're just trying to provide encouragement to the students as well as kind of reflection on the past semester. So with that, from P&G, Eli Saldivar, do you mind going first?
Of course, happy to share. Hey, everybody. I think I echo everybody's thoughts. First of all, thank you, Jessica, for inviting me to be part of this program. I think just as rewarding for the mentors as it is for the students, and I love to collaborate with the students on a weekly basis and hear their ideas and how they were working on the project. So thank you for the opportunity to do that. Part of what we're trying to do with engaging with the university is giving U of A that equity really nationally of the work that's going on here, because you'd be surprised at how many people don't know the amazing work and the talent that we have in Northwest Arkansas. And so I'm excited to get to see that firsthand with students, but also be a champion for the university within P&G nationally and globally, really with our business as well. So I would say we gave a nebulous problem to the P&G team, and you guys will get to hear their presentation, so I won't steal their thunder, but I was just so amazed and encouraged at how they took a very complex problem and turned it into an amazing idea that you guys will see. So much so that we are, thinking about bringing the idea to life. Again, I won't steal too much of their thunder, but very excited about kind of how they pivoted midway through the campaign, really, into something that was just amazing. So special kudos to Danny. She quarterbacked the whole team and was amazing at it. But I think what the entire team did really well is they really leveraged their strengths in the best way possible, right? I think, Matt, you mentioned it, but there's students from all other walks of life and majors and different things like that. And what the team did really well is work in a way that they were leveraging their unique strengths to really put something in front of you guys that is going to blow you well. So without stealing more of their thunder, I will turn it over to them because I'm excited for you to hear firsthand what they cooked up. And we are excited to partner with them. And like I said, I'm bringing it to life hopefully in the new year.
Great, thank you, Eli. Before we go to the teams, we're going to kind of do a brief run through with all the mentors. But thank you, Eli. We appreciate your dedication to the team this semester. From UAMS, Dr. Sexton.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone is well. First, thanks to the McMillon Innovation Studio for allowing us to participate in the program. It's been fantastic. The groups have been amazing, and our team in particular, I've enjoyed watching their progression throughout the course. And what I loved about it is they moved from students to colleagues. With the development over the few months that we were together, I saw them grow between every meeting and then get to the point where they were comfortable saying that the idea we pitched is not necessarily the idea they want to go with, and here's why. And that's the point that I knew we were colleagues. And so I'm just so proud of their development and how much individual ownership every participant took for the project. And I'm excited that UAMS was a part, and hopefully we'll get to participate again.
Great, thank you, Dr. Sexton. From Walmart, Jonathan Downey.
Hey, thank you, Jessica. John Downey from Walmart International, and I help lead the emerging technology team within our international organization. And Mark and I had a great opportunity to work with 6 students. And number one, really appreciate the opportunity, Jessica. Thank you for guiding Mark and I through this. As one of our first times. And similar to the earlier guys, we gave a really hard challenge. How do you transform the world's largest retailer? And we had a lot of fun, a lot of engaging conversations. And again, we saw the 6 students really grow on their side, and they also helped all of us grow. And again, similar to P&G, we are live implementing some of the things that they brought to the table. And so it's a really exciting time and really exciting program. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to be part of it. Mark?
Yeah, not much more to add, but Mark Thompson, I'm co-founder of the Northwest Arkansas product community, and also within similar to Jonathan in Walmart International. Got the pleasure to work with Jessica a lot this year. So Jessica and Dean Waller, great program overall, especially coming from outside the country into Northwest Arkansas. This really is the lifeblood of the ecosystem. So thanks to all the students as well. To the team later, enjoy your demo. Alric, Ethan, George, Jack, Brian, Vitali, really looking forward to your update. So I'll leave it there.
Thank you, Mark. All right, and from the other Walmart team, Nathan Spears.
Hey, thank you, Jessica. Good evening, everyone. Again, appreciate the opportunity. This is, again, my first time taking on this role as well. We had kind of a journey, like the majority of this year, that's highlighted by the team's ability to adapt, not only with COVID, but as we listened to and adjusted to the end users of the product that we offered the team to work on. The team took on a mentality of constantly evaluating like their own experience and observing the real world to support their thought process. We experienced working with multiple teams and internal at Walmart with the help of Wendy. So thank you very much, Wendy, who helped accomplish a lot of the work that became a little heavy during the later part of the semester. But although the work was challenging, as we shifted our focus, I saw the team really come together and have some truly great ideas. I just want to say, as you guys continue in your future career, remember, we don't always know the right answer, but we can find them. So I hope all the experience you had here will help you be successful in whatever you do next.
Thank you, Nathan. And Nathan was our first example of an alumni from the McMillon studio, actually then turning around and being a mentor in the studio, which is a really, really cool closed loop gap there. From Ambots, Marco.
Thank you, Jessica. Well, I'm glad to be here this evening. Definitely am very proud of my team. Alexa, Nicolas, Lazaro, Madison, all of them. They all have essentially done great work, exceptional work. I'm glad to see their final presentation. Ambots is essentially very, very impressed with their work, and we definitely will be thinking about integrating this type of development into essentially our business processes, our business procurement. So essentially, we definitely are very proud of this team, and we're very humble for you guys to have us on board with the McMillon Fellowship Program, and we look forward to it, the next one. And Sophie definitely wants to say a couple words as well. Pass it along to her.
Yeah, like just to echo what Marco said, it was really great working with the McMillon Studio. This was also our first semester. And I think after every meeting we had, they went above and beyond what we expected. And especially during this weird COVID semester, like that's a real testament to their organizational skills and Alexa's good job as a team leader. And we are also, the data that they got for us, we're using that in current business pitches and just stuff that we're writing. So it will be really valuable to us, and hopefully it will be really good to them as they build their careers.
Great. Thank you, Sophie. From another Walmart team, Melissa Roth.
Hi, everyone. Just kind of want to echo what everybody else has said. You know, this has been really a great and fun experience. And we all thought that the students were extremely creative. They presented us many different options that truly showcased their thinking outside of the box, and then eventually narrowed it down to a solution that makes sense and can be implemented. And this was done by continuously working with us, working with our associates, and continuing to get the feedback and iterating on the solutions. Shweta, Mike, and I are very proud of what the team has come up with, and we're just really thankful for the opportunity to get to work with them. And then also, we would like to thank the studio, you know, of course, the students and the university for this wonderful opportunity. So thank you. Really excited to be here tonight.
Thank you, Melissa. All right, we had two projects that partnered with NEOM, but also Dr. John Kent from the University of Arkansas. So Dr. John Kent.
Thank you, Jessica. Good to see everyone. I'm as a little bit different from the other mentors, a faculty mentor. It's 2 a.m. in NEOM, Saudi Arabia right now, which is where our industry mentor is located. And I did communicate, didn't talk with, but text communicated with Andrew before our meeting, and he actually echoes what many of the industry partners have said about working with the McMillon Innovation Studio just more broadly, and enjoyed his first experience with two projects this semester, one on food waste and one on sustainable packaging, which the students will go into detail. Andrew is a director of food waste director of digital technology in the food sector of NEOM. And for those of you who've never heard of NEOM before, you know, Walmart, Procter & Gamble, others we have, NEOM is a territory that's being developed by Saudi Arabia in on the northeast corner of the Red Sea. So when we think of Saudi Arabia, typically I would think about the eastern side, maybe southern part of Saudi Arabia, but up close to the Suez Canal, and it's a territory. Think of Dubai in the Middle East, and you know, certainly in my lifetime, Dubai has been developed, but Saudi Arabia is creating their version of Dubai, which is NEOM. And so Andrew was our faculty mentor. My recommendation, or not recommendation, motivation, I guess, encouragement for the students is you're clearly in a unique learning environment. While it was called a 1-hour course, that's not unique, but the learning environment with the different companies, many different majors, design thinking, creativity, innovation, customer centric, those concepts. I encourage you to embrace them and use these experiences in your interviews as you go out into the workforce. These are excellent stories to be able to share. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Kent. All right, from Tyson, Mark, Jordan, or Aaron?
Yeah, I can speak on behalf of us, and then definitely Mark and Jordan can speak, but I've taken some input from them. And First of all, we were really glad that we got the opportunity to participate this year for the first time, and we got to know each other a little bit more. But I think we all three found it really personally enriching, and all three of us consistently, or consistent feedback from the three of us is that we all saw you take concepts, take processes that it was clear you even voiced it, you had never encountered before, and you asked for help. You didn't ask for the answers, and honestly, we didn't have them, but you asked for help, asked for direction, and then the next time that we got together, we saw it applied, and it was just so cool to see you apply that and just really go out on a limb, and really to see you actively learning. So you challenged yourselves really well, and you took direction. You really bit off a really ambiguous challenge that is multifaceted. Does speak to some really core human insecurities, both emotional and physical. You dug in, and the other thing that was just really cool to see from our side was the pivot. To come to a place where you have something that you're ready to show us, and to get some pretty pointed and hard feedback. Y'all pivoted really well to a solution that is really focused, and it plays to some real core human and systemic needs. And I think we all see potential in the solution that you came up with, both for individuals and for the food bank community. So thank you for the opportunity and for letting us walk along this journey with you.
Thank you, Erin. All right, last Walmart group with Mike Ellis.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, this has been a great semester. Dustin and I had a whole lot of fun with this group. The problem we gave them was pretty broad, and there was a lot of possibilities. Our problem was, how do we make our stores more accessible for people with disabilities? And so, and that's a problem that hasn't really been solved by the industry. If you walk in a store, there's basically nothing to help you except maybe a mobility cart. And so I was just really impressed with how the team followed sort of the right process to tackle such a broad problem. Like the research they did was just really exceptional. They spent a lot of time in the store. They turned that into like video that they could help us understand like their experiences they were having and convey those emotions that people might feel. They got a lot of broad feedback, and like just the whole time they continued in like a spirit of discovery. Like even through the prototyping process, there wasn't ever a time that they weren't thinking about how to pivot and how to change. And that's like just that one piece is like, you guys, if you can keep doing that through your careers, you guys will like just really excel, and never be afraid to say what we've done so far is garbage and we should pivot in a different direction. So and just like from there too, like they came up with so many solutions like to the broad space, but they were able to narrow down to like what they really wanted to solve and what they were passionate about. And again, that's just like such a key value for coming up with products that actually matter. Like, you got to be passionate about what you're doing. So might not have been the perspective that I would have taken, but you guys have different passions, and that's totally fine. And I think that's really yielded an end result you guys could be proud of. So definitely excited to see your presentation, and just great work.
Thank you, Mike. All right, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Natalie, who will be our MC for each of the presentations. They'll have 5 minutes. We unfortunately don't have time for Q&A, but if you have a question or feedback or a challenge, I would say like an encouragement for the team that's presenting, go ahead and use the chat function. We'd love to just encourage these groups, as they've had, they put a lot of time and effort into these presentations for the semester. So if you can send some encouragement their way, that'd be great. But if you do have a question or feedback for the team, feel free to use the chat function as well. Natalie, do you want to introduce our first group?
Sure, thanks, Jess. We are going to hear first from the P&G team, Danny's team. If you'll go ahead and share your screen, we will get started.
For sure.
You can go ahead, Katie. Awesome, thanks, Danny. Doesn't it always seem like it's at the most inconvenient times that you run out of a product that you need in that very moment? Today we are here with a solution that we hope solves for this frustrating problem. Hi everyone, my name is Katie.
I am Jack P.
I'm Danny.
I'm Jack C.
I'm Thomas. Today we'll be touching on how our Procter & Gamble retail innovation team is solving for the customer problem of an overwhelming selection inside of Walmart stores, making it trickier to save time and money while picking products that are suitable for the customer's specific needs. During our research, we recognized that customers across the board are looking for a shopping experience that is fast, personalized, easy to navigate, and aesthetically pleasing. With an increase in e-commerce, our team notes that digital and physical retail must be blended to keep up with the ever-changing competition. Our team has not had a linear path, as we've had to change gears quite frequently with analyzing feedback after each prototype following the methodology of human-centered design process. We started off with the digital mirror concept inside of supercenters. That then pivoted into a vending machine due to the negative feedback with our first prototype. Respondents essentially thought that a mirror inside stores would negate convenience and interrupt already crowded traffic flow. This inspired our team to take retail outside the bounds of traditional real estate, where college students can have some of the most wanted items conveniently at their fingertips. How might we streamline the shopping experience for college students so that they can access products more conveniently?
Imagine you're an 18-year-old college student named Kevin who just arrived at the University of Arkansas. You're living in Adohi Hall, taking 18 credit hours, extremely social, and you're ready to be involved on campus. With this in mind, you're wanting to find the quickest, easiest way to shop for your college essentials. Now put yourself in the shoes of this nervous freshman procrastinating for a test, realizing he needs to do laundry but has run out of Tide Pods. Wouldn't it be nice to have those products magically appear in front of you when the last thing you want to do is navigate a large store? This is the first time that you're on your own making your own shopping decisions, so you are keen on finding the most convenient option.
We are introducing Walmart Go to solve this problem felt by so many college students. This is an initial mock-up of our vending machine with a completely digital screen and a product selection that resembles an old-fashioned vending machine. Once you click on a product, you are taken to a screen that is integrated with the traditional Walmart online experience. We believe that this would help gain traction on utilizing Walmart online unconsciously and would also help with the engineering feasibility. Once you place the order, a product dispenser opens up at the bottom of the machine, and you are thanked for supporting P&G.
Now put yourself in a future where Kevin may be hyper aware of germs due to COVID. He will be able to utilize a QR code in order to use his mobile device for the same experience. Kevin would see the same product selection overlay on his mobile device and then be prompted to check out using the Walmart app's capability. Once the order is placed, the product is dispensed and a thank you screen appears on the machine.
This product could be implemented within the next few months. Starting with a pilot run here at the University of Arkansas, we envision Walmart Go in central locations like our student union and in locations with the high student population that are distant from the center of campus like Adobe dormitories. Based on pickup towers designed for Walmart supercenters, our product would utilize the same technology. So our biggest concerns are with inventory management and the timeliness of order fulfillment.
In summary, our team has learned that the customers like Kevin are constantly looking for ways to make shopping faster, buy products that are rich in quality, and spend their money at places that support value and competitive pricing. We believe our research shows that something along the lines of a vending machine or pickup tower would be warranted on college campuses, and maybe later in workplaces and corporate offices to bring the stores to the customer. As Kevin graduates into the workforce, he'll be already attuned to the convenience of a grab-and-go machine.
That being said, our business viability is quite strong in that we see this business model scaling and growing beyond Kevin's time at the university. With the flexibility of minimal real estate, the real hurdles will be with logistics of getting the product as close as possible to Kevin. Hoping for a network effect, we envision that this will gain traction as more users realize its value in shortening their shopping time. Thank you for listening to our pitch, and we would like to extend extra gratitude to our mentor, Eli, who just spoke. He has been immensely helpful to all of us, and we are looking forward to keeping him in our network.
Thank you so much, P&G team. Next, we are going to hear from the UAMS team. So Fabia, if you'll share your screen.
Thank you, Natalie. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Fabia Patel, and I'm the project leader for the UAMS team. My teammates are Zaying Dang, Mariana Hightower, Lara Wyatt, Taylor Fernan, and Robert Prettyman.
This is Trevor. Trevor is a 13-year-old boy from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Like lots of children, Trevor enjoys playing outside with his friends and playing lots of video games. It is undeniable that COVID-19 has negatively impacted the lives of children, just like Trevor. Based on a study by the American Academy of Pediatrics, 14% of children have reported worsening behavioral health since March 2020. It's caused a lack of interaction, increased isolation, and caused uncertainty for kids that has never been seen before.
To better understand our market and targeted customer, our team had the opportunity to interview parents, teachers, and mental health professionals. From our interviews with teachers, we learned that students in our targeted age range miss the social aspect of school and are finding it increasingly difficult to engage in their coursework. We also learned that mental health is rarely discussed in schools and that responsibility often falls on the parents. Through our parent interviews, we learned about the challenges of children connecting with their friends due to COVID restrictions. Parents also told us that their children use technology both for school and in their free time, and we found that they would benefit from a solution that encourages online communication between peers.
Our professional interviews with school psychologists reveal that there are many untapped resources that are difficult to get access to, such as comprehensive mental health exams, and they really highlighted the importance of socialization. Children are rarely taught to understand their emotions, so it becomes essential to teach emotional intelligence. When tackling mental health for children, it is crucial to be honest in a way that is both developmentally appropriate and normalizes their emotions. The key takeaway from the interviews is the importance for preventative strategies to start early on in which social emotional well-being is being taught.
So based on our customer discovery, our mission is to design a solution that will increase communication skills and emotional awareness in adolescents. Our initial idea was to create a subscription box that would include recipes, games, and resources. The goal was to encourage discussion about mental health and COVID-19. But the most consistent feedback we received was who is able to pay for monthly subscription. For lower middle income families, monthly subscription would not be accessible as they might be focused on fulfilling their basic needs. We decided to pivot and design a solution that is either completely free or inexpensive to our end users.
Our final solution is a website called Game Pals that is a modern take on Pen Pals. Our challenge was to design a solution that would address mental health and focus on skills like resilience, healthy communication habits, and connectivity. Game Pals is designed to do just that. Our solution is a preventative one, as the main goal of our website is for children to be able to form connections in a way that makes them feel comfortable, yet in a way they find entertaining. To begin, parents will register their children on the website, and the child's allowed to create an avatar/character and pick a screen name to log in with. Safety is our top priority, so our website will include codes that will monitor discussions to keep children safe, as well as conversations clean. They are then paired with children similar in age to start messaging with given prompts and suggested writing topics, which are updated weekly or monthly and more targeted to communicate about emotions with their peers. In addition, each user will be able to challenge their connections to a minigame of their choice. These games are simple yet entertaining ways that make children want to be involved.
Game Pals will be free to all users. All that will be needed is access to a computer or tablet. Long-term, our website will be a mobile app available for download on iOS and Android. Initial costs for the company will be covered by a Kickstarter campaign, and the maintenance would be covered by donations linked on our website and advertisements placed throughout. Solving mental health as a whole is impossible to do. However, Game Pals takes preventative steps by furthering the emotional awareness in kids just like Trevor, while increasing the communication between him and his friends so they feel less isolated and alone, especially in the midst of a pandemic.
We would like to say a big thank you to our UMS mentors, Dr. Kevin Saxton, Dr. Joseph Sanford, and Mr. Adria Abia Franca, and also to our McMillon mentors, Ms. Jessica Solomon and Ms. Rachel Sullivan. Thank you for guiding us on this project. I would also really like to give a big shout out to my teammates. Thank you for your dedication and hard work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, UAMS team. Great job. Next, we will hear from the Walmart 2D to 3D team. If you'll share your screen.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm good. Hi, we are the 2D to 3D project. And, okay, there we go. And we were working with Walmart on their product selection process. So Walmart has a wide variety of products, from TVs to toothpaste. But behind every single item, there were hundreds of changes to get that product to the shelf. That process, known as the product selection process, requires crazy amounts of time and money. For example, take a grill. The grill manufacturers first have to create a prototype by hand and then ship it internationally back and forth for any changes. Also, don't forget that the most expensive part, the final phase known as the buy trips, when Walmart employees go down to the grill manufacturer and make sure that do any final changes and also confirm that the grill is of the highest quality with the lowest cost. Unfortunately, like everything else, 2020 threw a wrench into those plans. And that's where our 3D model solution comes into play. I'll let Jack take it away with customer discovery.
We interviewed Walmart suppliers and merchants to gain insight into the current product selection process at Walmart. And what we found is that the current process is incredibly time-consuming, inefficient, and expensive. It also leaves a significant carbon footprint on the planet and wastes a lot of Walmart's valuable human capital, which can be better utilized elsewhere. From all this, it's clear that Walmart's product selection process can be drastically improved through the use of an expansive 3D asset system. The first step towards developing this system involves the analysis of the following components, which is what our team did. We'll have Ethan kick us off with cost and material analysis.
For our raw material estimation component, we needed three main specifications. The first of which, the cost analysis, where we will take material cost and the raw material cost and know how the substitutions will affect the cost of items in the end phase, such as the different alloys or polymers. Next, we will use material analysis to make informed decisions on the manufacturing process and how that is affected by our substitutions. And lastly, we needed our tool to be universal because with over 70 million Walmart products on Walmart.com, we needed one tool that would be able to work for any of them. Next, Ryan will show the math of this process.
So because of the variety of products offered by Walmart, we knew we needed something that would scale across a tremendous number of products. And so we don't have a guarantee that the product can be described by some kind of mathematically nice density function, say a constant density function, or even a guarantee that the product can be described by a continuous density function. Instead, we might have sudden discontinuities from wood to glass or from metal of a certain density to metal of a different density without any kind of smooth transition in between. So rather than try to globally characterize the behavior of the product, instead we decided to opt for something that would allow us to just evaluate it at points within the product. So the approach we use is Monte Carlo numerical integration. And that sounds really complicated, but the idea is extremely straightforward. So you just uniformly sample the region of interest randomly, and then you evaluate each point within the region, and you find whatever materials it's made out of at each point. And then you take the average across all those points, and you get a number that will converge to the true amount of the material across the product. So we sacrifice a little bit of precision, but we gain a lot in flexibility. And so at the right, you can see an example input and output for a cube. And this was all built using the GNU Scientific Library, which has some pre-existing tools for Monte Carlo integration. And when we took this approach, we found that we would usually get something extremely accurate and takes almost no time at all, despite that we're querying thousands of points or hundreds of thousands of points. So it's going to scale in the way we want it to.
We took our findings into the Unreal Engine, which is a video game production and simulation tool for our mock prototype. So for this grill, for example, in the bottom right, we can see the volume and the production cost associated with this model. And on the right, we have the material selector, so we can change the material of the hood or the sheet metal, and we can see how that will affect our final values. And next, George will explain our cloud computing options.
After researching several 3D asset management systems, we found that Kraken Enterprise is the best choice for our projects because of these reasons. The first reason is that the system is easy to use. Secondly, it has AI-powered tools which can automatically organize and generate categories, keywords, tag, and preview renders for the 3D models. Lastly, it has data sharing feature, allowing 3D models can be shared between the manufacturers and Walmart employees. Next, we will have Vitali to talk about cost savings and sustainability.
And so this transition is positive, both economically and for the environment. The cost savings on plane trips is around $2 million yearly. The cost savings on shipping of items that are shipped back and forth internationally is around $101 yearly. And the environmental impact that would be cut off from planes is around 412 billion pounds of greenhouse gases yearly. And all of these calculations are based on just plane trips. We do not take into account train or car trips. And I'll let Ulrich finish the presentation.
Sorry. Okay. So in conclusion, our 3D model solution can do a material and cost analysis, is accessible for Walmart employees and manufacturers. It helps the environment while increasing workplace efficiency and reducing costs. This will give a unique advantage to Walmart as it expands as our product is scalable to customers and gives it a unique edge in the online marketplace. I'd like to give out a huge thank you to our Walmart mentors for providing us with information and support along our journey. If you'd like to learn more, you can access our presentation, the appendix, which is the rest of this presentation, by the QR code or this link right here. If you have any questions, you can contact me at this email right here. We'd like to thank you for listening to our presentation, and I hope all the students have a successful finals week. Thank you.
Thank you, Ulrich. Very cool project. Next, we are going to hear from the Walmart pickup team. If you'll share your screen.
All right, are you guys seeing the screen here?
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. Hey, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Calandro, and I'm the project lead for the Walmart Automated Pickup team. I wish I could be with seeing all you guys in person, but that's part of living with COVID. So this is the team. Like I said, I'm the team lead. We have Grayson Lee, who's also going to be part of the presentation. Fatima Tretto, Matt Barber, and Laura Costa. Thank you guys so much for your hard work this semester, for meetings, and for just really going the extra mile. You guys are the best, and I really appreciate you. So our problem statement, it evolved quite a bit, as I'm sure most teams did. But the problem that we ended up trying to tackle is that Walmart automated pickup users in Sherman, Texas, and regular pickup users nationwide need customer-focused and sustainable pickup options.
All right, so our project began with the customer discovery process to understand how customers interacted with the automatic pickup system. We started with customer interviews where members of our team were able to interview multiple customers. From here, we were able to uncover some of the pain points felt by these customers, and this led us to develop a few great ideas to improve the system. Following these customer interviews, we held associate interviews where we were able to pitch these new ideas to associates and gauge the potential success and feasibility of them. Lastly, we sent out a survey and received over 1,300 responses where customers were able to react to some of these ideas and give their thoughts. So our project actually began with the goal of reducing perceived wait time of customers at the automated pickup. But from talking with customers and through analyzing data from the Sherman store, our team realized that the wait time of customers was actually not an issue, as 80% of all orders for a given week take less than 10 minutes. This allowed our project to shift. Once we learned that sustainability was something at the forefront of both the customers' minds and with the goals of Walmart, we developed an idea to reduce plastic waste at automated pickups with that was in line with Walmart's pledge to sustainability called Project Gigaton. Early on, we learned that all customer items are delivered inside plastic bags within the blue totes as shown in the top left. Many of the customers we talked with said they removed their items from the bags and placed them directly in their car. These conversations led us to the idea of having customers' items delivered in the blue totes without the use of plastic bags. Our team developed the idea of giving customers the option to choose whether their items were delivered with or without plastic bags.
So we wanted to make this as easy as we could for customers. Like a lot of people just like plastic bags. Some people, myself included sometimes, use plastic bags for trash sacks or other stuff. So we don't want to force anybody. People don't like that. So we just make it really simple. As they're reviewing their order, they can just say, hey, don't put my items in plastic bags. They can even say, hey, I'd like my item to come in a reusable bag. And for those who are really serious about it, they can always set that to be a permanent setting. Realistically, one person opting out of plastic bags doesn't really make a big difference. But when we can, create systems that and start getting hundreds of thousands or even millions of customers that are consistently opting out of plastic bags, it has a huge impact. One of the ways we can help encourage that is just a simple reward. So this is just an example of a banner that will pop up after they place their order that will show them real data on their impact. And that just, I think, puts things in perspective to people when they see that they're participating in something bigger than themselves and they are making an impact. We also want to be really considerate of associates. Make it simple. Associates have enough to deal with as is. So as the pickers are going around selecting items for customers, there's just we want it to be really visual. So there's a visual icon that will pop up as they're selecting as they're choosing the customer's item. Also, every customer has an individual tote with their order in it. And so there's stickers that have their information on there. If we can print those green or have another visual reminder on there, that will show the associate as an additional reminder that this is a no bag customer. That way we make sure that every customer is getting exactly what they want and we keep it easy for the associates. There are 12 trillion single-use plastic bags on the face of the planet. 12 trillion. And what we found is that consumers actually want to make sustainable choices. So it's up to us as innovators to create systems that make those sustainable choices available to them. Letting customers opt out of plastic bags, it reduces cost, it saves associates time, it helps both customers and Walmart be more sustainable. This is a win-win-win-win. I have to say a huge thank you to our mentors, Nathan and Wendy. You guys are there with us every step of the way. You invested a lot of time in us, and we so much appreciate you. We could not have done it without you, and really, huge thank you to you guys. Also, again, to the team, what you guys don't know is we actually developed 4 other similar projects, not just plastic bag. And so we really put the work in, and thanks for the team and for the mentors.
Awesome presentation. Thank you so much. Next, we will have the Ambots team. If you all want to share your presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alexa Deluge, and I'm the project leader. This semester, I truly enjoyed working with Luke, Madison, Nicholas, and Lazaro.
Have you ever wondered why your house has taken longer than the scheduled initial projection, or why your home doesn't quite look like what you imagined? Try to think about your project from a different perspective. Have you ever tried to build a house without the blueprints, or carried heavy bags of concrete and wood under the hot sun? Not having access to the files related to a build often results in on-site errors, which is often why the doorways in your home aren't the same height. While it's easy to say that the project is taking longer due to wasted time, a lack of productivity, or the cost of materials and labor, the communication barrier between the on-site workers and the upper management has had the largest implications on many construction projects.
So in either small or big construction projects, the inconvenience mentioned by Madison most of the time happen in formwork manufacturing. So what is formwork? Formwork is a temporary custom mold into which concrete or a similar material is poured and formed. Traditionally, it is made out of timber, but it can also be constructed from steel, other metals, plastics, and others. Its main goals are to hold, retain its shape, be able to be put in place on site, and removed without damaging the concrete while being as lightweight as possible.
All this comes to our customer discoveries, and this one was performed by following the next steps: stating our hypotheses, defining assumptions by building a persona profile, asking good questions, and evaluating and refining the hypotheses. This project idea solved the difficulties to build formwork with current materials, excess materials, and time wasted in construction companies, and the lack of communication between workers and management by offering an online source able to improve their experience and production. It was created a persona profile for one of our customers to know its goal. These were to manage the time without affecting quality, to become more sustainable, to improve the craftsman's skills. And the main frustration for this company were excess material wasted, hard labor, and needs for more durable materials. Asking good questions to find help us to find important gaps to verify our main hypotheses. Some questions made to a total of 16 different companies in the area were: what is the most used material? What is the time to build? Who performed this job? What is the cost of production and reusability of materials? Some of the main pain points found were the waste of time and no communication, formwork manufacturing, including the hard labor and the cost of the materials.
For our main problem statement, we identified that as the construction industry continues to evolve, how might we leverage technology to bridge the gap between upper management and on-site workers?
So to bridge the gap between an on-site workers and the management, we propose to create a high-quality app which would take approximately $1,000 to $10,000 to develop. We will bring revenue through the app by individual membership fees by $25 a month, then individual project fees at $1,000 per project, and company packages at $100,000 per year. To introduce and advertise our product, we will give the interview companies a free trial of the app plus its services, plus promotional deals through social media. The main reasons we implemented this business model are the formwork calculator, the in-app chat, the file viewer features, offering high value to all of our customers.
Our journey through the prototype stage was something of an adventure, if I had to say so myself. We originally wanted to start with something that would track materials through all the stages, from chemical manufacturing plants to recycling plants, all the way to the construction companies themselves. And we realized we didn't have the infrastructure or the technology to really implement that. So as Nicholas previously stated, we really hammered down into the 3 core propositions we really wanted to tackle. It was the ability for on-site construction workers to see what was actually needed to be built, so they had a closer representation of the end product. It was the communications between upper management and their workers, as well as the formwork cost calculator. The formwork cost calculator was the one that took the most time. As you can see, the example on the left is different materials used, possibly in formwork. On the right is a mold that we went ahead and calculated for, made out of PLA recyclable material. And through the calculator, plugging in all of the variables, we calculated the cost to be roughly $362.
Our final solution is an app called Formworks. So let's take it back to that construction worker, the one who was sweating under the sun as he struggled to build your house without the blueprints, feeling as if he was the only one to look to. With Formworks, he can easily reach out to his supervisors and communicate about the project, and make necessary changes on site to keep everything flowing smoothly. With Formworks, all he has to do is click View Projects. He no longer has to worry about building without a missing blueprint. Once he clicks the 3D design model, he can view 3D models and even access floor plans. Now switching to the viewpoint of a manager, the man who struggled to cut costs and communicate with his team. He can easily do this in Formworks. If he wanted to maximize the amount of material used in every build and cut costs, he can evaluate the cost of material and labor in our cost calculator. I just want to say thank you to my team as well as my mentors at Ambot, Sophie and Marco. I really appreciate all of your guidance and help this semester.
Thank you, Ambot's team. Great job. Next, we're going to hear from the Walmart tote team.
How many times has that happened, everyone, this year? You thought you weren't on mute. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Moore, and I have had the privilege over the past semester to be a design team lead at the McMillon Innovation Studio, paired with Walmart to develop our solution that we're going to talk about today. So we're going to go through the problem, solution, and then the impact of our solution. First, I want to introduce the team, though. I've had such an amazing team. We've really come together to get really creative with with the problem that we're solving. So we have Timothy Lofness, Daniel Hassler, Narmeen Benaisa, and Wilson Cheney. So at the beginning of the semester, the problem originally started as Walmart needs to figure out a way to change the way that they are labeling the totes in the back room for online grocery pickup. As you can see right here, this is an example of the tote labels that are currently being used. And back here is an example of what the back room at Walmart online grocery looks like. So you can see it's very chaotic, lots of totes going on everywhere. So put yourself in the associate's shoes. So you're filling orders, you're trying to get all of these totes filled before customer pickup time. When you're picking the items throughout the store, you have customers coming up, asking questions, kind of interrupting the process. Now take that associate and then multiply the volume that they were doing by 2, and that's what's going on right now. So Walmart in Q2 of 2020 saw a 97% increase in e-commerce sales. So really, the associates are using the same technologies to do double the volume. So our problem statement kind of transitioned from how can we effectively and efficiently replace these tote labels to how can we save these associates time, energy, and find a sustainable solution for these tote labels. So our solution is multifaceted in nature. It's a combination of a few different elements that I'm about to take you through. So first things first, on the tote label, there was a ton of information. And upon customer discovery, we figured out that really the associates only need 1 to 2 of those indicators on the tote itself in order to do their job effectively and efficiently as they are currently doing. So what we're ending up doing is we are printing these customizable QR codes on the totes themselves so that they are reusable and they can be reassigned to different customer orders. As you can see, there's some visual information embedded within the QR code so that there's not a complete loss of visual cues for the associate. And these give different pieces of information about the customer order to the associate. Additionally, we are using the handheld interface in order to communicate those visual cues that they still do need onto the handheld device. Additionally, though, we have integrated some auditory features to transmit information in a different way using different senses. So whenever an incorrect tote is scanned, an error message will pop up, but also this sound will play. I know, hopefully it'll be a little bit less annoying than that for the associates, but and then for a correct scan, this sound will display. So that way the associates have some information that is transmitted to them without having to read it on the handheld or on the tote label itself. Additionally, we wanted to gamify this solution to make it more interactive and fun for the associates. And we really leaned into the culture that's already there in the online grocery pickup back room. From what we discovered with customer discovery, there's some internal competition going on with associates trying to beat each other, see how many people can get as many items picked efficiently and correctly as they can in an hour. And so we really wanted to lean into that. So whenever throughout the process of picking, dense staging of these online grocery orders, throughout the process, the associate will receive badges, as you can see over here. So after various KPIs are met, they've earned these badges. Maybe there's a call out in a team meeting saying, you know, great job, Megan, on your work this past couple weeks. You've really been contributing to the team at a high level. So that way we're not only making sure that the associates feel valued, but you're also increasing job satisfaction and productivity. So additionally, the impact that this has on Walmart outside of just its personnel is Walmart goes through about 10,000 tote labels per store per week for high volume stores. There's over 2,000 online grocery locations for Walmart. So when you multiply that all cost savings a year just on getting rid of these stickered tote labels alone. In addition, you know, we're also attacking the environmental sustainability issue that I know is a huge initiative for companies all over the world, but especially for Walmart right now.
Megan, I think you may have froze. You may need to go back a little bit.
Oh, okay. Am I good now?
Yep.
Okay. So we've got this multifaceted solution that is gamified, increasing job satisfaction for our associates, and also ending up in a cost savings of over $15 million a year, just getting rid of the stickers alone. So the impact on Walmart, not only financially, it also is impacting their personnel and associates in a positive way, and reducing Walmart's carbon footprint on the earth. So thank you guys so much for hearing us out. We've had so much fun this semester getting creative and innovative. I want to thank Shweta Bataya, Michael Hofert, and Melissa Roth for all of your support this semester. You guys have been amazing. And I also want to thank my team for working so hard throughout endless amounts of prototypes, and to say thank you to Jessica and Rachel as well for all of the support.
Great job, Megan, and your team. Next, we're going to hear from the first NEOM team. This is the NEOM food waste team. So Grant, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, good afternoon. My name is Grant Wilson. I'm the project lead for the NEOM food waste team. Our prototype is Food. It's a mobile app that helps users be mindful of the food they have in their fridge with the aim to avoid over shopping and expired food, reducing household food waste and ultimately saving users money. As I mentioned before, our mentors are Andrew Yip from NEOM and John Kent from the Walton College of Business Supply Chain Department. John gave us a little bit of background on NEOM, but some more background. It's a proposed city in Saudi Arabia with the aim to be a catalyst for innovation and commerce in the region.
Our problem statement: how might we provide a convenient way for consumers to reduce their food waste? In our research, we found that 1/3 of all food purchased in the U.S. is wasted. Time, convenience, and lack of education play an important role in how people address the issue. Harvest and consumption are actually the major points where food waste happens. In our customer discovery, we developed two hypotheses: no perceived benefit or incentive to reduce food waste, and it's seen as a hassle or just difficult to do. In order to test these hypotheses, we set out to conduct empathy interviews where we asked what people felt or what they thought as they were throwing food away. Next slide. The interviews provided us with insight that led us to begin developing a solution. While we found that some people were already taking action through composting or feeding leftovers to farm animals, not everyone had these options. The majority faced obstacles that food can address, because the one thing they all had in common, they cared about the money they were wasting when wasting food.
So once we better understood our problem and our customers, we brainstormed as many solution ideas as we could. And after writing them out, we combined our ideas and categorized them to sort of figure out what sort of solution would match our target user best. And we decided on our app, Food. So with our app idea locked in, we whiteboarded out what all features and layout we felt the app should have. And once our model was complete, we tested our idea by bringing it to some users and interviewing them to figure out which of the features would bring them the most real value.
So this is what our actual prototype looks like. It has 3 main pages. The first is the inventory page, which allows you to see what food you have in your fridge or pantry and when it expires. The second page is a recipe page, which gives you simple recipes based on the food you already have in your inventory. And then the final page is the money saving page, which allows you to track how much money you're saving every month compared to your previous monthly amounts and national averages or the social component to your friends in the app.
One of the key features of our prototype Food is the automatic food entry. This allows you to upload food straight from your shopping cart at the grocery store to your account on the app. The app will then track your food and send you reminders of when your food's about to expire, ultimately allowing you to save money. Also, when the food is in the cart and it's about to expire, it'll automatically be updated to a shopping list for the next time you go to the grocery store. Along with, you'll be sent recipe recommendations and connected to local food banks to help feed the hungry.
I'm going to talk a little more about that automatic entry that Trey just talked about. Our plan is to partner with larger retailers so that we're able to have a printed QR code on receipts when users check out. They're able to scan it into the app and have that food entered automatically to avoid a tedious logging that no one enjoys. Similarly, on mobile pickup apps, users are able to pair the app, pair food with whatever their mobile shopping app would be, and have that food transferred over seamlessly as well. Other key features that provides quick and easy alternatives to that food that has expired or is very near to expiration. So users are using it more efficiently rather than just throwing it away. And finally, that partnership with larger retailers will really help us scale very quickly and hopefully reach a wider audience and reduce more waste.
When we talk about food, it's important to mention the value added. Companies can actually extract big data from food to maintain and keep up with consumer preferences and behaviors. Food can also help big name companies achieve more sustainable supply chains by reducing the food waste along the supply chain. Food uniquely helps consumers and big companies save money, make money, and achieve sustainability. We're confident that food can help NEOMs achieve their sustainability objectives. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you again to Andrew and John. It has been a challenge, working across the world with Andrew, but he's been very open to meeting at different times and has been very flexible. And John's offered some great insights, especially on the supply chain side, and that's really informed our journey this semester. So thank you.
Thank you, Grant and your team. Next, we're going to hear from the second NEOM project on sustainable packaging. Carter, you're good to go.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Okay, gonna jump into it. So a little history, starting in the 1950s, going through the 70s, companies embraced the premium packaging movement. This was a big shift from glass packaging to plastic, like what we see today. This is great for the global supply chain as we moved into it during this time period. It was way lower cost and easier to transport. But there were also many downfalls, like some being visual persuasion and manipulation amongst consumers, also correlating to, if not causing, the global obesity pandemic. But most importantly has been the effect that plastic packaging has had on our environment.
In a recent study, researchers found that plastic was detected in the stomachs of 100% of sea turtles and 90% of seabirds near the ocean.
This shocking statistic is just one of many that display the harmful effects single-use plastic has had on our Earth's natural ecosystems. It's time for us to start asking if it's really worth it to maintain our current consumption patterns.
My name is Carter Kalman, and I'm the project lead.
And my name is Landon Webb. I worked on 2D design and UX UI design.
I'm Sydney Busfield, and I worked on materials research and logistics.
I'm Nick Baruki, and I worked on structural engineering and virtual prototype design.
And I'm Gabby Gifford, and I worked on branding and market pull strategy.
During our customer discovery, we surveyed and interviewed grocery store goers across the world, asking both situational and habit-oriented questions. We found that while most people want to make sustainable choices, they will ultimately choose convenience over sustainability. As one responder phrased it, "I feel guilty, but in a very manageable way."
The problem that we needed to solve wasn't finding a replacement for plastic packaging, but it was about changing human behavior in the way that we shop. Our focus became centered around the question, how might we change our grocery store habits so we can make sustainable choices without sacrificing convenience? We took the concept of convenience-driven shopping to the most sustainable way to shop, the self-serve bulk section. We found that in general, consumers perceived this bulk section to be unsanitary because of the food shovel that carries and spreads germs across users, a hassle and confusing due to the labeling and weighing, and intimidating due to the isolated section within the grocery store that often goes untouched by the majority of grocery store goers, noting that the majority of our respondents didn't use the bulk section for the main reason being, why would I when everything I need is already prepackaged?
So our original solution to this problem was an extension of the existing bulk section, which incorporated a kiosk to assist first-time users and a sanitization aspect to eliminate the spread of germs. We realized through concept testing that having this as a separate section was part of the reason people weren't using it. We then decided to prioritize convenience and ease of use. We shifted focus to a smaller model, which brings us to our latest iteration.
Introducing Filled, the end-of-aisle automated self-serve station. This nearly touchless way of grocery shopping is not limited to coffee, beans, and nuts. Filled is for any shopping needs, conveniently located at the end of a related content aisle. It's like a vending machine for any consumable. And on the shelving beneath the dispensing canisters are eco-friendly containers available for purchase. Filled also offers community-donated containers at a reduced price.
So here's how it works. Users simply tap the screen to get started and place their container in the chamber. Users then will decide what product they would like. Filled scans your container and displays quantity options and associated price. Users then select quantity and press dispense, all in under seconds. At the end, users will swipe their Filled recycled plastic card that tracks the amount owed. Then users take their container from the cabinet and pay at the front. Filled cleans itself after each use with a high-powered UVC light, so there's no cross-contamination from other containers.
Filled uses eco-friendly materials like bamboo, recycled glass, and recycled plastic. So once a product container is empty, it's shipped back to suppliers to be cleaned, filled, then sent to any Filled location where its contents are needed. Implementation of Filled will require a cross-functional cooperative approach along the supply chain, and customers will need to embrace this new sustainable way to shop. In the long run, the adoption of Filled is beneficial to customers, businesses, and most importantly, the environment.
We hope that this will inspire you to get on board and rethink your current habits to join the movement as we try to reduce our carbon footprint on Mother Earth. A big thank you to our mentors and to the studio for helping us along this semester-long journey. Obviously, we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carter and team. That was awesome. Next, we're going to hear from the Tyson team. Luke, you are good to share your screen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Luke Waller,
and I am the project lead for this team. Katie, Grace, Dominic, Julia, and Anshuman have partnered with Tyson and worked alongside Aaron Tilley, Mark Purvis, and Jordan Gershon to develop a solution that addresses part of the dire food insecurity crisis this country faces. Let's take a sample of 100 people in America. 12 out of every 100 people will be food insecure. In Arkansas, the state with the second highest rate for food insecurity, that number moves to 17. If we look at children alone, it increases to 23, with some of our counties having as much as 36 food insecure people out of every 100. We could fill Razorback Stadium almost 7 times over with the number of people who rely on feeding agency services in Arkansas. It's no wonder that our food banks are overwhelmed, lines are long, supplies don't last, and stigmas are high. Take Susie, for example, a single mom working 2 jobs with more things to do than she has time for. Going to the store for groceries is a luxury she can't always afford. Often, Susie has to pick between keeping the lights on and feeding her family, a choice no one should have to make. The local food bank has the supplies that Susie needs, but between shifts and picking up her kids, there's no time to spend hours placing, waiting, and finally receiving her order, but she has to. So she sacrifices time with her kids, risks being late to work, and worries about someone seeing her at the food bank and the stigmas that can surround her. On the other side of it, her food bank is also struggling. Their inventory is inconsistent, volunteers are overwhelmed in some shifts, and they're bored in others. And there's no way to predict when they will need more of which foods, so they are constantly running out. Communication is difficult between food banks and sponsors. Each agency operates on a different system, and large donors such as Tyson have no way of knowing which food banks can take product when it becomes available.
As you can see, there is clearly a disconnect between our food pantries and their suppliers and who they serve, and it's keeping us from effectively combating food insecurity. All of these groups have insights that can benefit the others, which is why we propose Better Bank, a platform designed to bridge the gap in communication and personalize the food bank experience. Our app is free to download, and both it and our website are easy to navigate. For someone like Susie, using Better Bank for the first time means creating an account that she will use to curate her food orders through. The next screen will ask her to select a preferred food bank location and the number of household members she's providing for. She is free to adjust her answers at any point, as these questions will appear every time she logs in to make an order. Next, Susie can select a category of food such as protein, vegetables, or breakfast supplies from a main page. We've selected protein as an example to show you how the app would generate her options based on the availability at that location. The number in parentheses show how much of that food she can add to her order. For example, for a family of 3, she can select up to 5 cans of black beans, 7 cans of Vienna sausage, and 2 jars of peanut butter. Now these numbers are determined by the number of people she is providing for and will decrease as she combines her different options. This is to preserve the food pantry supply and make sure we are distributing as fairly as possible to everyone. Not only can Susie personalize an order that she knows will satisfy her kids' palates, but the app also offers live tracking on her order's progress. Now this is especially important because through our customer discovery phase, we identified a common pain point that inhibits people from getting the resources that they need, and that's time, or the lack thereof. Better Bank's app and website offer a way for people to avoid the lines, minimize frustration, eliminate the stigmas, and best of all, regain those opportunities missed while waiting in line for food. Our app creates a centralized platform for all food banks, pantries, and agencies within an area to input their inventory and maintain an up-to-date log of the food that's available at any given time. Better Bank will use predictive analytics to compile anonymous data from all the orders that are placed through our program and create insights from that. Now, these can help food banks and larger corporate donors like Tyson better understand patterns in food need and be able to anticipate demand throughout the year. These algorithms and predictions will allow Tyson to minimize food waste by being proactive in their donations and more efficiently distributing food before it expires. For consumers like Susie, who will use the app solely to make food orders, this process will be completely free. As you move up the pyramid, the fee will increase to reflect the increasing resources those groups have and how many people they serve. The app and its features will be supported through subscription fees from Tyson and the food banks because they are the two groups who can really benefit from those in-depth insights that Better Bank will provide. Food banks and pantries will benefit from consistent organization, shorter lines, and more efficient order processing so they can reach even more people with their resources. Whenever Tyson has product become available, they can use their Better Bank account to access current storage capacities at each food bank location to easily donate food before it goes to waste. And with Better Bank, we've given the control back to consumers like Susie to personalize their order, pick it up when it's convenient, and spend their time where they want to, not where they have to. Thank you for your time, and I hope you will consider Better Bank as the next step in solving our food insecurity problem.
Also, big thank you to Aaron Tilley, Jordan Gershon, and Mark Purvis. Y'all were incredible as mentors. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Luke, and your team. Great job presenting. We have one more to go. It is going to be the Walmart Design for Disability team led by Winji. Winji, you are good to go.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Winji. I'm here today with my 4 awesome teammates, Haley, John, Kylie, and Sam. And first of all, I would like everybody to think of the last time that you were in a grocery store. Sorry. And please send a smiley face to the chat if this ever happened to you, if you or a shopping buddy ever struggled to get something off the shelf. For some reason, I can't see the chat. Let me see, sorry. Yeah, we got a lot of responses. So this is actually a view from our customer, Jessie. So Jessie never really had this problem before until, unfortunately, she was involved in a car crash and had to use a wheelchair since then. And when Jessie went into the store, she realized that half of the things on the shelf are unreachable from a sitting position. And she can't believe that something so mundane and simple for her before is actually a daily struggle for people with mobility disabilities. And that is 1 out of every 7 adults. So with this project, our team are focusing on the problem that people with mobility disabilities need a way to shop more independently so they can feel safe and welcomed at every store.
Our team went to Walmart and did an in-store simulation of what it was like to shop with a mobile disability. And we did this because we wanted to put ourselves in the shoes of our target customer. During this experience, we ourselves had trouble getting items from the shelf and freezer because they were placed too high, which made our overall experience stressful and uncomfortable. Items were often placed too low, which also limits the disabled customer to purchasing items that they can only reach. This made us feel unwelcomed and made our shopping trip unenjoyable. Even your common products such as cereal, eggs, and toys were difficult to retrieve because the items were placed either too high or too low. And this was a problem that we wanted to solve throughout the duration of our project.
Our team set out to find a solution to the problem at hand through many different ideas. Through a lot of research and trial and error, our team ultimately came up with the idea of a grabber concept. This grabber gives the ability to the user to both grab and scoop the desired product off the shelf that otherwise was a difficult task before.
We took our arm prototype to a real Walmart shopper with a disability for her feedback. She practiced grabbing, actuating the arm, and gave us a lot of good information. She told us that it took up too much space, was impossible to carry, drew too much attention to herself, and most importantly, was only usable in one direction, so it was difficult to control. We took all this feedback combined into our final product, the Grago. The Grago attaches to a shopping cart to reach items that are too high and can be manually reversed to reach items that are too low. Most importantly, with only a few controls and directions, it is very easy to use. The Grago has a revolutionary telescoping design that can easily fit into a small bag for an accessibility aid that is compact and low visibility while still being durable and useful. Altogether, the Grago is the all-in-one solution to grabbing inaccessible items and going on with your day. Grab and go.
We like to think of this as the customer's own personal claw machine. This personalizes the shopping experience for each individual shopper. The goal of this project was inclusivity. This is why this project really not only includes people with mobile disabilities, but also people who are elderly, suffer from obesity, or who are petite. My own mom is only 5 feet tall, so I've also seen her struggle with a lot of these things that people suffer every day in these Walmart stores. So the channels of distribution for this product would ultimately, our first step would be in store. The product will be on the end of each aisle in Walmart for customer use. Next, we would like to see it for individual sale at various retail stores. So the end goal could be commonly used for household products. So, you know, even if there's stuff like that's hard to reach for customers in their homes, they can now bring this experience to their house as well. And the cost structure for this would look like, ultimately for us to produce, it's around $100. We would like to see it produced at about, for individual sale, at a retail price of $250, but our end goal is to get it to the customer at $0 with the help of getting it covered by insurance at $0 because it'd be a mobility aid.
Finally, we would like to thank our amazing mentors, Ashley, Mike, Dustin, and Jennifer, for their generous help, and their guidance and advice was invaluable to our team as we develop our product. And I also would like to thank all my teammates for very awesome work this semester and our amazing advisor, Jessica and Rachel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wendy, and your team. That was great. That concludes our presentations. I'm going to pass it off now to Rachel to close us out.
Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, I just want to say again, some big thank yous. Thank you to students. You guys should be incredibly proud of yourselves. I know this semester likely didn't look like what you anticipated it would, but you've excelled and adapted in it, and we're proud of you. And you should also be proud of yourselves. We will be sending probably in the next day or so your certificate of completion for the McMillon Innovation Fellowship Program. And I think Dr. Kent mentioned this at the beginning, but highlight this experience. Highlight it on your resumes and in your interviews. It really sets you apart. This experience does. So again, thank you, students. I want to reiterate also what Jessica and Matt said. Thank you to our mentors and sponsors. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you. And finally, I would be totally remiss if we didn't give a huge thank you to Jessica Salmon. As some of you all may know, this has been Jessica's last semester with us as director of the Innovation Studio. Thankfully, she'll still be around teaching at the Walton College, so that's great. We'll get to see her still. But I wanted to invite up with me Sarah Goforth, who's the Executive Director of the Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, to say a few words.
Thank you, Rachel. And students, amazing job. It's incredible to see what you've accomplished this semester. And I echo Rachel's thanks to the mentors and everybody who supports the studio. But what I really wanted to say is a thank you to Jessica. And I want to start by asking you, if you have had a chance to get to know Jessica, either as a student or in any other capacity, I want to invite you to put in the chat a word or a phrase that comes to mind when you think of her. And while you're doing that, she can read those things. I just want to say, you know, sometimes I can't believe that I graduated from college 22 years ago. But I'll tell you that one of the coolest things I've learned since then is that you get to be a student for life if you know a teacher when you see one. All of you learn to see customers as your teachers this semester, which is pretty cool. And I just want to share with you, you know, the first time I met Jessica, I had this experience of, oh, wow, this is a person I can really learn from. She has this experience and wisdom and a way of seeing the world that's new to me, and a creativity that I knew would inspire me and push me to test my own limits. Jessica, I can't tell you how much you've influenced the way I approach my work and what's possible in terms of how we support student-led innovation at the U of A. And the first word that comes to my mind when I think of you is teacher. So thank you, and I'm so glad that you're going to stay on in a teaching role with the Walton College, and hope I get to work with you forever and ever. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys. I truly appreciate it. It has been a joy, and I have learned so much this semester from the students, and so I'm so excited to be able to just be part of this team and learn alongside each one of you. So I am extremely grateful, and I'm excited for what's next. I am pursuing my doctorate, and so that's kind of where I'm headed off to, or what I'm doing, and then I will still be teaching at the university. So I'm excited to continue to stay connected, and the students are what drive me and are my passion. So I've loved every minute of getting to know the students and meeting with the project leaders one-on-one. It has been a true joy. So I am so excited to just release these set of students, and really they are the future talent and the future leaders in America. So I'm excited for what they have in store. And students, best of luck to you on your last couple weeks of finals. And thank you so much for your participation. And again, thank you, mentors and sponsors. We couldn't have done this without you. So thank you, and have a great night.